The cold silence of space was suddenly broken. Deep in the dark reaches beyond Mars, Earth's sensors picked up a massive movement. The vast Imperial fleet was coming. It was not a small scouting team or a few warships. No, this was a whole armada, hundreds of huge, powerful ships. They moved fast and with clear purpose. The fleet was heading straight toward Earth. At Earth's command center, alarms blared loudly. Red lights flashed. Officers hurried to their stations. The room was tense and quiet at the same time, full of nervous energy. Commander Lisa Malik stood at the front, her eyes fixed on the big screen. The image showed the enemy fleet growing bigger every second. "Confirm the readings." Lisa's voice was calm but firm. The technician nodded. "It's real, ma'am. The Imperial fleet is here. They just crossed Mars orbit." In the control room, the air felt thick. Everyone knew what this meant. The Empire was no friend. It was a force that had once tried to control the whole solar system. For years, Earth had lived in uneasy peace, but now the signs were clear. War was coming. Lieutenant Rao, the youngest officer in the room, swallowed hard. "Why now? They stayed away for years." Lisa did not answer. Instead, she turned to the communications officer. "Send a message to all Earth defenses. Prepare for war." Outside, satellites and space stations sent urgent alerts. Earth's fleet scrambled to get ready. The people of Earth watched the skies, fearful and curious. What did the Empire want? Was it revenge? Or something worse? In a distant city, young Armin looked up at the sky. His mother held him close. The news was on every screen. "The Imperial fleet is coming," the announcer said. "People should stay calm and follow safety orders." Armin did not understand all the words, but he felt the fear. He knew things were about to change. Back in space, the Imperial ships moved with a silent, deadly grace. Their captain, Commander Vark, stood on the bridge of the largest ship, the Dominion. He watched Earth's blue planet grow larger on the screen. "This time Earth will fall quickly," Vark said to his officers. "We have the power. Their defenses are weak. We will crush them before they can fight back." His officers nodded, but some looked worried. The Empire had won many wars before, but Earth was different. It was not just another planet. It was home to a strong and clever people. On Earth's flagship, the Valiant, Captain Sarah Kim prepared her crew. She knew the enemy was close. She had trained for this day her whole life. "This is not just a battle for Earth," she told her crew. "It is a fight for our freedom, for our future." Her crew responded with determined faces. They knew the risks, but they were ready. Back at the command center, Lisa studied the data. The enemy fleet was huge, but Earth had something they did not know. A new weapon, secret and powerful, was ready to be used if the war started. "Prepare the defense systems," Lisa ordered, "and keep the people safe." The hours passed slowly. The Imperial fleet got closer. The world waited. News reports showed cities preparing for possible attacks. Children were told to stay indoors. Soldiers stood guard at every base. Suddenly, strange signals came from the enemy ships. No one understood what they meant. The signals were not like usual war messages. They were strange, like a code or a warning. Scientists tried to decode them, but the answer was not clear. Lisa's assistant whispered, "Commander, the signals are getting stronger. What could they mean?" Lisa shook her head. "We don't know yet. But stay alert." In the night sky, the stars seemed to hold their breath. Earth was ready, but the fear of the unknown was heavy. Then, just before dawn, the Imperial fleet stopped near Earth's orbit. They made no move to attack. The silence was worse than the alarms. Why were they waiting? Captain Sarah on the Valiant watched carefully. "They are not attacking yet. Something is wrong." Lisa nodded. "This is a test. They want to see how we react." The world held its breath. Then, suddenly, one small ship from the Imperial fleet moved closer to Earth's space station. It sent a message, loud and clear. "Prepare to surrender," the message said. "The Empire demands control." The message was cold and cruel. But Earth's leaders refused. Lisa stood tall and replied, "We will never surrender. Earth will fight." The message was sent to all Earth forces. The people listened. The fear changed into determination. The next few hours were tense. Scouts from Earth watched every move. Soldiers waited for the order to fire. The world waited for the first shot. In the silence of space, the Imperial fleet was not just a threat. It was a challenge. The war was about to begin. At the end of the HFY day, Commander Lisa looked out of the command center's window. The stars shone brightly. But tonight, Earth's sky felt darker. She whispered to herself, "We will stand. We will fight, because we are Earth." After the warning, Earth was tense but calm on the surface. The huge Imperial fleet waited near the edge of the solar system. No one knew why they had not attacked yet. The silence was strange and made everyone nervous. Commander Lisa Malik stayed in the control room, watching the screens carefully. Every ship, every signal was under her eyes. She felt the weight of the whole world on her shoulders. The people of Earth were waiting for answers, but she had none. Why was the enemy waiting? Across the globe, people went about their lives, but with heavy hearts. Schools closed early, factories stopped, and families gathered. The sky was full of satellites and defense ships ready for battle. The news spoke again and again about the Empire's arrival, but no attack had come yet. Captain Sarah Kim and her crew aboard the Valiant trained harder than ever. They prepared their weapons, checked their engines, and drilled for battle. The ship was ready, but the silence made it feel like something was wrong. The scientists at the space agency tried to study the strange signals coming from the Imperial fleet. The signals were not normal messages. They were codes, but no one could understand them. Some said it might be a threat. Others thought it could be a test. Lieutenant Rao sat with the signal experts. He looked worried. "If we cannot understand these signals, how can we prepare?" he asked. One scientist shook his head. "We have to guess. Maybe they are warning us or trying to confuse us." The news spread quickly. People were scared, but hopeful. They hoped Earth's new weapons would protect them. Secretly, some wondered if Earth had a hidden advantage. In the government halls, leaders met in secret. They talked about peace and war, about what to do if the enemy attacked, or if they tried to talk. The fear was everywhere, but they had to stay strong. Commander Lisa sent messages to every Earth base. "Stay alert. Do not fire unless ordered. Watch and wait." The world watched the sky. The huge ships of the Empire did not move closer or attack. They stayed still, like a shadow waiting to strike. This calm made Earth's defenses tense. One evening, Sarah looked out at the stars. "This waiting is the hardest part," she told her second-in-command. "The moment they attack, we know what to do. But this silence, it makes us anxious." Back on Earth, families prayed and hoped. Children asked questions adults could not answer. The radio showed calm voices trying to reassure everyone. Suddenly, a small ship from the Imperial fleet sent a single message again. It was clear and cold. "Prepare to surrender." Earth's leaders refused to answer. They did not want to give the enemy the power to control their home, but they sent a message back, strong and clear. "We will fight for Earth. We will never surrender." This message spread around the world. People felt proud and brave. The fear did not disappear, but a new fire was lit, the fire of courage. For the next days, the Imperial fleet stayed silent. Earth's ships kept their positions. Soldiers waited, weapons ready but not fired. Commander Lisa often sat alone, thinking. She wondered if the enemy was afraid too. Did the Empire know about Earth's secret weapon? Did they fear what they might face? The tension grew with every hour. Earth was ready to fight, but no battle had started. The calm before the storm was the hardest time. Then something strange happened. A scout ship from Earth detected a small group of ships leaving the Imperial fleet. They moved quietly toward a nearby asteroid field. Lisa ordered, "Track them closely. We must know what they are doing." The ships disappeared into the dark rocks. For hours, Earth's ships searched but found nothing. It was a mystery. The silence returned. But now Earth's commanders were even more alert. They knew the war was coming soon and the waiting was almost over. Captain Sarah trained her crew late into the night. "Remember," she said, "we are Earth's shield. We protect our home and our people. No matter what happens, stand strong." Her crew nodded, tired but ready. They believed in her and in their mission. Far away, in the heart of the Imperial fleet, Commander Vark was growing impatient. He did not like waiting. "Attack now," he told his officers. "Show Earth our power." But the Empire's leaders were careful. They wanted to be sure. They waited for the right moment. Back on Earth, people looked up at the stars, wondering, would the war come tomorrow? Next week? No one knew, but one thing was certain. Earth was not afraid. They were ready to fight, ready to protect their home, ready to show the Empire that humanity would never bow. The calm was not peace. It was the quiet before a great storm. And when the storm came, the world would change forever. The calm did not last long. Without any warning, the silence of space was broken by sudden explosions. The Imperial fleet had made its first move. The enemy ships fired powerful weapons at Earth's outer space outposts. Bright flashes lit up the darkness as stations were hit, and alarms screamed across the solar system. Commander Lisa Malik watched the destruction on the big screen. Her face was tense. "They started the war," she said quietly. "This is no longer a warning. It is an attack." The outposts were the first line of defense. They were designed to detect and delay any enemy movement. Now many were damaged or destroyed. Earth's fleet had to act fast. Captain Sarah Kim was on the Valiant when the first blasts hit. "All hands! Battle stations!" she shouted. Her crew moved quickly, their training taking over. Weapons locked on enemy ships. Shields went up. Engines roared to life. The Valiant fired back. The battle had begun. The space around Earth filled with the sounds of war. Lasers, missiles, and explosions flashed across the darkness. Ships moved with speed and skill, trying to outmaneuver each other. The battle was fierce and fast. Lieutenant Rao was at his post, scanning the battlefield. "Enemy ships are stronger than we expected," he reported. "Their weapons are powerful and precise." Sarah nodded. "We knew they were dangerous, but we must hold the line." On Earth, the people watched the news with fear and hope. Some cried for the lost outposts. Others cheered when Earth's ships destroyed enemy fighters. Every moment was full of tension. In the enemy fleet, Commander Vark smiled. "Our first strike is strong," he said to his officers. "We will break their spirit quickly." But the humans were not broken. Earth's warships worked together, covering each other and attacking with smart tactics. Every ship from the smallest fighter to the largest cruiser played its part. Suddenly, a message came from one of Earth's damaged outposts. "Requesting immediate assistance. We are under heavy fire." Lisa gave the order at once. "Send backup. Protect that station." The Valiant and two smaller ships raced to help. They arrived just in time to push the enemy away. The outpost was saved, but barely. Back on Earth's command center, tension grew. The enemy attack was strong and fast, but Earth's defense was stronger. The battle was far from over. Captain Sarah gathered her officers. "This is only the start. The Empire thinks this will scare us, but it will not. We fight for our home." Her words gave strength to her crew. They prepared for more attacks, knowing the war was just beginning. Meanwhile, the mysterious signals from the enemy ships changed. Now they sounded like commands, telling their forces to press harder. Earth scientists worked day and night to understand them, but the mystery stayed. On the battlefield, one human ship was hit badly. The crew fought to keep control as alarms rang out. Sarah's voice came over the radio. "Hold on. Help is coming." With great effort, the damaged ship escaped. The battle was brutal, but humans did not give up. As the hours passed, Earth's fleet pushed back the enemy. The Imperial fleet had not expected such strong resistance. Their ships were being destroyed faster than they wanted. Commander Vark grew angry. "Send the reinforcements," he ordered. "Crush their fleet now." But Earth's forces had a secret. Deep in the shipyards, new weapons were ready, powerful, fast, and deadly. They were Earth's hope. Lisa smiled quietly. "Let them come. We are ready." The battle was only the beginning. The first strike showed Earth's strength and courage. The war had started, but the fight for survival had just begun. The people of Earth prayed, hoped, and waited. Their warships fought in the dark sky, shining like stars of hope and defiance. And somewhere in the darkness, the Imperial fleet learned a hard lesson. Earth would not fall easily. The battle raged on, fierce and loud. But Earth had a secret weapon, something the Empire did not expect. Deep inside Earth's largest warship, the Valiant, engineers worked fast. They prepared a new device, powerful and dangerous. This weapon could change the course of the war in seconds. Commander. Lisa Malik watched closely as the weapon was readied. She knew the risk. If it worked, the enemy fleet would be destroyed. If it failed, Earth's defense might collapse. There was no choice. The time had come to use it. Captain Sarah Kim stood by the control panel, her hands steady. She looked at her crew and said, "This weapon is our hope. We will strike hard and fast. Be ready for anything." The secret weapon was called the Nova Pulse. It was designed to send a wave of energy that could erase enemy ships from space. But it was also new and untested in real battle. As the Imperial fleet moved closer to Earth, the Valiant prepared to fire. The enemy ships were confident, attacking Earth's forces with full power. They did not know what was coming. Suddenly, the Valiant fired the Nova Pulse. A huge wave of bright energy exploded from the ship. It spread quickly like a giant ripple in space. Enemy ships caught in the wave's path disappeared in seconds, erased without a trace. The Imperial fleet was shocked. Their ships vanished one after another. The silence that followed was deep and heavy. Commander Vark stared in disbelief. "What is this weapon?" he asked. "How did Earth get such power?" His officers were scared. The Empire's fleet was being destroyed faster than ever. They had never seen anything like this. On the Valiant, the crew cheered quietly. They had hoped the Nova Pulse would work, but the reality was better than expected. Earth's secret weapon was real and deadly. Commander Lisa gave new orders. "Fire again if needed. We must protect Earth at all costs." The Imperial fleet began to retreat, their confidence broken. The war had taken a new turn, but the victory was not without cost. The Nova Pulse used a lot of energy. The Valiant needed time to recharge. Earth's forces had to hold their ground until then. Captain Sarah gathered her crew. "We showed the Empire we are strong, but the fight is far from over. We must be ready for what comes next." Back on Earth, the news spread fast. People were amazed and proud. Earth had a weapon that could erase an entire fleet. The hope for survival burned brighter. Scientists studied the Nova Pulse carefully. They worked to improve it, knowing this was just the start. But not everyone was happy. Some feared what such a weapon could do if it fell into the wrong hands. The power to destroy so quickly was dangerous. Commander Lisa thought about this too. "We must be careful," she told her team. "This weapon is powerful, but it is not the end. We must stay strong, united." Meanwhile, the Empire was regrouping. Their leaders met in secret. They could not let Earth win so easily. They planned new strategies and new weapons. The war was changing fast. Earth had surprised the Empire, but the enemy was not defeated yet. Captain Sarah looked at the stars again. "This is our fight," she said softly. "For Earth. For our future." The Nova Pulse had changed the battle. The Empire's ships were disappearing in seconds, but the war was far from over. The real test was still ahead. Earth's people waited and watched, ready to stand against the darkness. The hidden weapon had given them hope, but it was only the beginning. The battle had reached a new stage. After the surprise of the Nova Pulse, Earth's forces gained strength. The Imperial fleet was no longer moving with confidence. They were confused and afraid. The balance of power was shifting. This was the turning point. Commander Lisa Malik watched the battlefield with sharp eyes. She saw the enemy ships trying to change their tactics. They no longer attacked in large groups but spread out, hoping to avoid the Nova Pulse's wave. But Earth's fleet was ready. Captain Sarah Kim led the Valiant and its team in fast, smart strikes. The crews used their knowledge of space and teamwork to trap enemy ships. Every move was planned, every attack precise. Lieutenant Rao was in charge of the scouts. "We've found weak points in their formation," he reported. "If we hit there, we can break their line." Lisa nodded. "Tell the fleet, we strike at dawn." That night, Earth's warships moved quietly. The enemy was watching, but they did not expect such a quick and organized attack. The silence before the battle was thick with tension. When the sun rose over Earth, the fleet launched its strike. The space around Earth lit up with explosions and laser fire. Enemy ships were caught in traps and destroyed. The turning point was clear. Earth was winning. The Imperial commanders were angry and desperate. "We cannot lose!" Commander Vark shouted. "Send all ships to defend the weak points!" But Earth's fleet was too fast and smart. They broke through the defenses and pushed the enemy back. The battle was brutal, and many ships on both sides were lost. But Earth's courage did not waver. Captain Sarah gave orders with calm authority. "Hold the line! Support each other! We fight for Earth!" The crews followed her lead. Every ship worked as one. The humans' unity was their greatest strength. On Earth, people watched the news with hope. They saw their ships fighting hard and winning battles. The fear was still there, but pride and belief grew stronger. Meanwhile, the scientists studied the battlefield data. They found ways to improve the Nova Pulse and other weapons. The war was changing, and Earth was ready to change with it. But the Empire was not finished. They sent new reinforcements from deep space. The enemy's desperation made them more dangerous. The next battles would be harder. Commander Lisa knew this well. The turning point is just the start. We must be ready for what comes next. The war was far from over, but for the first time, Earth's people believed they could win. The stars above held the promise of a new future, one where humanity stood strong against any enemy. Just when Earth's fleet was gaining ground, a new presence appeared in the battle. Far beyond the fighting, a strange ship entered the solar system. It was unlike anything Earth or the Empire had seen before. Its shape was smooth and glowing, and it moved silently through space. Commander Lisa Malik noticed it first on the sensors. "Unknown ship approaching Earth's orbit," she said with surprise. "No response to our calls." The ship did not attack. Instead, it hovered near the battlefield, watching. Everyone wondered. Friend or foe, Captain Sarah Kim was cautious. "We don't know who they are or what they want, but we cannot ignore them." The mysterious ship sent a message in a language no one understood. Scientists tried to translate, but the symbols were strange and new. Then suddenly the ship fired on the Imperial fleet. Not Earth. Its weapons were strong and precise. Enemy ships exploded and retreated quickly. Earth's fleet was shocked, but relieved. This unknown ship was helping them. But why? Commander Lisa ordered, "Keep communication attempts open. We need to know if this ship is an ally or a threat." Days passed with no clear answer. The mysterious ship stayed close, helping Earth's fleet when battles were hardest. Slowly, trust grew. On the Valiant, Captain Sarah wondered about the ship's motives. "Are they here to help us? Or do they have their own plans?" Lieutenant Rao studied the ship's movements. "Their technology is far advanced. If they are friends, they could turn the war in our favor." The people of Earth watched the strange new ship on their screens. Some felt hope. Others feared another unknown danger. Finally, the ship's captain, a calm voice speaking broken English, sent a message. "We come to help. Your fight is just. We are the Valorians, enemies of the Empire." The news spread quickly. The Valorians were a mysterious alien race, known for their peace but also great strength. They had their own reasons to stop the Empire. Earth's leaders met with the Valorian captain in a secure space station. They shared stories of war, pain, and hope. A new alliance was formed. But the Empire watched closely. They saw the new enemy and knew the war had changed. The Valorians. Arrival made them more cautious and desperate. Captain Sarah felt a mix of relief and caution. "We have new friends," she told her crew. "But the fight is not over. We must be ready for anything." The war had grown bigger. Earth was no longer alone. The unexpected ally had arrived, bringing new hope and new challenges. The stars shone brighter that night. A new chapter in the battle for freedom had begun. Just when hope was growing, danger came from inside. Earth's leaders discovered a terrible secret. Someone inside their own command was helping the enemy. A spy was leaking important information to the Empire. Commander Lisa Malik could hardly believe it. "We trusted everyone," she said, quietly, her eyes heavy with worry. How could this happen now in the middle of war? The news spread quickly through the command center. Officers and soldiers felt shock and anger. If the enemy knew Earth's plans and secret weapons, the war could be lost before it truly began. Lieutenant Rao was tasked with finding the traitor. He worked day and night, watching communications, checking codes, and questioning people. The spy was clever, hiding well among trusted officers. Captain Sarah Kim felt the weight too. Her crew needed her strength, but the betrayal shook her confidence. "We must stay strong," she told them. "We fight together. No traitor can break us." Meanwhile, Earth's leaders held secret meetings. They tightened security and changed codes. No one could be sure who was loyal anymore. One night, a message came through encrypted lines, a warning to the spy. The traitor knew they were close to being found. Lieutenant Rao followed a trail of clues. His heart pounded as he moved through the dark corridors of the space station. Suddenly, he caught a figure trying to send a message to the Empire. "Stop!" Rao shouted. The spy froze. It was a high-ranking officer, someone everyone respected. The betrayal cut deep. The officer was arrested and taken away. Under questioning, more secrets were revealed. There might be more traitors. Commander Lisa stood before the command center team. "This war is not just against the Empire. It is against fear and doubt. We must trust each other and stay united." The betrayal shook Earth's defenses, but also made them stronger. They knew the fight was harder now. The enemy was not just outside, but within. Captain Sarah gathered her crew. "This is a test of our spirit. We will not let the traitors win. Earth stands together." Outside, the stars seemed darker. The war had changed. Trust was fragile, and the danger was closer than ever. but the people of Earth held on to hope. They knew that even in betrayal, they could find strength. The battle for Earth was no longer only a fight in space, it was a fight for the heart of humanity. The war had lasted longer than anyone expected. Earth's fleet had fought bravely, but the enemy was still strong. Commander Lisa Malik knew they needed a new plan, a bold plan to end the battle once and for all. In the command center, leaders gathered around a large table. The air was thick with tension and hope. Maps of space, enemy positions, and Earth's weapons were spread before them. Every detail mattered. "We cannot wait for the Empire to attack again," Lisa said firmly. "We must take the fight to them." Captain Sarah Kim nodded. "We have trained for this moment. Our ships are ready. Our crews are ready." Lieutenant Rao pointed to a weak point in the enemy's defenses. "If we strike here, near the enemy's command ship, we can cut their control. It might break their fleet." Scientists explained a new weapon, a faster, more powerful version of the Nova Pulse. It could destroy the enemy's command ship and disable their entire fleet's systems. The plan was risky. If it failed, Earth's fleet could be destroyed. But if it worked, the war would be over. "We have one chance," Lisa said. "We strike quickly and together. No mistakes." Preparation began immediately. Warships loaded weapons, crews checked systems, and engineers worked to finish the new weapon. Captain Sarah spoke to her crew before the mission. "This is more than a fight. It is for our home, our families, and our future. Be brave, be strong." The crews felt the weight of the moment. Many thought of their loved ones, hoping to see them again. The final plan was ready. Earth's fleet would jump into the enemy's space at dawn. They would move fast and strike hard. The hours before the attack were quiet and tense. Soldiers and officers waited nervously. The silence felt like the calm before a great storm. Commander Lisa looked at the stars outside the command center window. "This is it," she whispered, "for Earth." As dawn came, the fleet prepared to jump. Engines powered up, weapons locked on targets. The moment was near. Then the order came. "Attack!" Earth's warships surged forward, disappearing into the enemy's space like lightning. The final plan had begun. The war's next chapter was about to be written in fire and courage. The silence of space was shattered by the roar of war. Earth's fleet had jumped into enemy territory, ready for the biggest battle yet. The stars were no longer peaceful. They blazed with the fire of lasers and explosions. This was the Battle of the Fleet. Commander Lisa Malik stood at the command center, her eyes fixed on the screens. She saw the chaos and bravery at once. Ships moved fast, dodging enemy fire and striking back hard. Every second counted. Captain Sarah Kim was in the middle of the fight, leading the Valiant with steady hands. "Hold the line!" she shouted. "Protect each other and push forward!" The battle was fierce. Enemy ships fired powerful weapons, trying to break through Earth's defenses. But Earth's fleet was strong and united. They fought with everything they had. Lieutenant Rao worked quickly, sending messages to all ships. "We've found the enemy's weak points," he reported. "Focus your attacks there." Earth ships moved like one. They targeted the enemies, engines and weapons systems slowly crippling the fleet. Explosions lit up space as ships were destroyed, but the Empire did not give up. Commander Vark ordered his fleet to regroup and counterattack. Enemy ships charged at Earth's forces with desperate fury. The battle grew even more violent. On the Valiant, Sarah's crew worked without rest. Shields held strong against blasts. Guns fired without pause. The fight was tiring, but their will was unbreakable. Amid the chaos, heroes emerged. Pilots risked their lives to save others. Engineers fixed damage quickly. Every person knew their role was vital. The battle lasted for hours, pushing both sides to the limit. Ships exploded, pieces of metal and fire drifting in space. The darkness was filled with light and noise. Finally, Earth's fleet reached the enemy flagship. This was the heart of the Imperial fleet. Destroying it could end the war. Captain Sarah gave the order. "All weapons on the flagship, let's finish this!" Lasers and missiles struck the massive ship. It shook and burned, but fought back fiercely. The battle was at its peak. Commander Lisa watched with hope. The turning point was near. Then, a massive explosion rocked the flagship. It began to break apart. Enemy ships slowed and retreated. The battle of the fleet was won, for now. Earth's people cheered. The war was still dangerous, but hope burned brighter than ever. Captain Sarah and her crew knew the fight was not over, but they had taken a great step. Earth's courage had made the difference. The stars above watched silently. The battle had changed the course of history. The battle had reached its most dangerous moment. Earth's fleet stood before the enemy flagship, the heart of the Imperial fleet. The warships were tired but determined. Captain Sarah Kim knew this was their final chance to end the fight. Commander Lisa Malik gave the order to prepare the most powerful weapon, the Nova Pulse. This weapon had already erased many enemy ships, but now it would be used on the biggest target. The crew of the Valiant worked fast. Systems powered up, energy built inside the weapon. The room was filled with tension and hope. Sarah's voice was calm but strong. "This is for Earth. Fire the Nova Pulse." A massive wave of bright energy shot out from the Valiant. It spread quickly through space, hitting the enemy flagship first. The ship shook violently as the weapon tore through its shields and hull. One by one, the other enemy ships caught in the wave disappeared. In seconds, the entire Imperial fleet was erased from the battlefield. The silence that followed was deep and complete. Commander Vark's voice was heard one last time, shocked and broken. "Impossible." "How?" Earth's fleet stood still, watching the destruction they had caused. The war was over. Back on Earth, people celebrated. The fear was gone, replaced by pride and joy. The secret weapon had saved them all. But Commander Lisa knew this power came with responsibility. "We must be careful," she said. "This is not the end. We must prepare for the future." Captain Sarah agreed. "Today we won. Tomorrow, we build peace." The stars shone brightly as Earth's ships returned home. The Imperial fleet was gone, erased in seconds. The war had ended with fire and silence. Earth had won. The battle was over. Earth's skies were calm again, but the cost was clear. Many ships had been lost, and countless brave lives had been sacrificed. The people of Earth mourned their heroes, but also celebrated their victory. The Imperial fleet was gone, erased in seconds by Earth's secret weapon. Commander Lisa Malik stood quietly in the command center, watching the stars. The silence felt heavy. The war was won, but the future was uncertain. Earth had shown great power, but that power had also drawn attention. Other worlds watched carefully now. Captain Sarah Kim returned to Earth with her crew. They were tired, but proud. Families waited with tears and hugs. The long war had changed everyone. Scientists worked day and night to study the Nova Pulse and other new technologies. They wanted to make sure Earth would be ready if another threat appeared. The war had taught them many lessons, but strange signals appeared again in deep space. This time, they were different, mysterious and unclear. Some feared it was a new enemy, others hoped it was a sign of peace. Leaders held meetings. They spoke of rebuilding, of alliances, and of preparing for what might come next. Earth had won the battle, but the galaxy was vast and full of dangers. People began to rebuild their lives, cities healed, ships were repaired, and hope returned. But the memory of the war stayed alive, a reminder of what had been lost and what must be protected. Commander Lisa said in a quiet moment, "We must stay united. We must be ready. Earth's story is just beginning." Captain Sarah looked at the stars with hope. "We fought the darkness and won. Now we must light the way. The galaxy was silent again, but Earth was no longer alone. The war was over, but the future was a new battle, one of peace and survival. The dawn of a new era had come. The war had ended, but Earth was changed forever. The people looked up at the stars with new eyes, eyes full of hope and strength. They had fought the greatest enemy the galaxy had seen, and had won against all odds. Now, a new dawn was rising. Commander Lisa Malik stood on the deck of the Valiant, watching the sun rise over Earth's horizon. The light touched the blue oceans and green lands, reminding her of what they had saved. "This is our home," she said softly, "and we will protect it no matter what." Captain Sarah Kim stood beside her, proud and ready. "We have new friends, new allies, and new challenges. The galaxy is wide, and we must be prepared." Valorians, the mysterious alien race that had joined the fight, worked closely with Earth's leaders. Together they built stronger defenses and shared knowledge. Earth was no longer alone in the vast darkness of space. Scientists created new ships and weapons, learning from both human and Valorian technology. The future was bright, but it would take hard work and courage. People everywhere rebuilt their cities and lives. The memories of war stayed alive, but they did not stop hope from growing. Songs were sung, stories told, and heroes remembered. Yet even in this new peace, the stars held secrets. Strange signals still came from the far reaches of space. Signals that no one could explain. They were a reminder that the galaxy was full of mysteries, and not all threats were gone. Commander Lisa looked up at the night sky. "We must watch and wait. We must be ready for whatever comes next." "Captain." Sarah smiled. "Whatever comes, Earth will face it together, stronger, wiser, and unbroken." The new dawn was here. Humanity had survived the darkest hour and now stepped boldly into the future. The stars were no longer a place of fear, but a place of hope and adventure. The story of Earth was just beginning.